Hello, everybody. This is Love from Above by your Sibling Spirit Guides. I'm Maureen, and this is my brother.
Hi, Maureen. Hi, everyone. This is Brian.
Hey, Brian, we're so happy to be here. If you can believe it, on this podcast, we share daily channelings we receive from star beings, ascended masters, mythical beings who really exist, and occasionally our ancestors. And today's topic is wow, Brian, anything and everything is possible. One of the sessions even talks about how a bird can become a bee. Can you believe it?
I believe it. Yeah. So it's yeah, some great messages. Looking forward to getting into it. So with that, I'm just going to jump right in. So all possibilities exist from January 12th of 2024. So it says, dearest one, we indeed wonder at the marvels of the young one's mind. Your activity over these past nights has been truly remarkable. As you journey into heavenly abodes, we shall take you back to where you visited, the land of grace and wisdom. For it is here where all beings are birthed. The furnace of creation is but a short journey for the credible mind of a trained adept. In here, all possibilities exist. For one such as you may select the appropriate future, present, and past. For one seeking great knowledge. The furnace of creation stokes the minds of all living beings. It's similar to a random number generator in that what is assigned is given with loving knowledge of the past, present, and future. The past may be swapped at a later date by an adept. It, I felt that happen last night. Oh, this is what you're saying. Is it because the date of January 11th and it's a new moon was your question? And they said the dates have no significance, for they are irrelevant and arbitrary. So before I dig into this a little more, would you want to explain anything, any of your thoughts on, do you remember this
No,
message?
I have no idea. January 12th, I have no idea. But obviously, I recorded in there that I felt like something significant had happened. But I do not remember visiting the land of grace and wisdom. But it's really interesting, that you can go back to the furnace of creation and create anything. And then what I find so interesting too is they don't talk about swapping out the future. They talk about swapping out the past. So you think about something that really impacted you like in a negative way, that you could go in the past and be like, I don't want to meet that person, or I don't want to take that job. I'm gonna. So isn't that interesting? I just met a woman when I was traveling, and very interesting woman. And she was saying, I was on my way to Shanghai, and she was saying that Shanghai is her favorite city in the world. And she said that is the one question she really, really wonders about. She was recruited to go to a top university in Shanghai, and she really wanted to take the job, but she decided not to because she didn't want to leave the United States where her daughter lived. But she's like, I wonder what my life would have been like if I went back and, I took that job. So yeah, she could go to the furnace of creation and be like, what does it look like if I took that job in Shanghai? So it's just fascinating, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've read books about this, and they've even talked about how there's entities that were trying to change the history of different things happening, and there's all these different timelines. So again, we've mentioned this on, the jumping timelines, and there's a lot to this, but there is. It's hard for me to envision because it seems, I'm more of a straightforward. There's a linear things in life where there's a past, present, and future. But yeah, and in other books we've read, they say how it's all very fungible and that, you can change the past and the future as well as the present. So it's hard to sort of grasp, I think, but it is something that's it's a common thread we've gotten in, messages and also books we've read, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just fascinating. So I'll go on with the next one where they talk about how a bird can become a bee. Okay, just think about that, folks. A bird can become a bee, and this was from July 4th of 2025. They said, now heed our words regarding the transformation of oneself. Can a bird become a bee? The affirmative answer would seem preposterous until one gauges on the cellular level where all is possible. Can you imagine the possibilities of a life unstained by friction, unmarred by obstacles, unblocked by whatever ails you? All is indeed possible once one returns to the infinite creator. This can be easily done in the fraction of one of your seconds. We provide an example. If you were to place a toe into the ocean, you could feel the current of this massive body of water. Similarly, when you tune into the element form of creation, you obtain all that you need. Distractions detain you from this goal. Put away your phones, turn away from your screens. The time is now to go within and aid all the hurts, bothers, and what controls you. These disciplines are necessary, yet freedom can easily be attained. You see the wisdom of our present course. And then they go on, Brian, can you believe this? They said we hide the some kind of material from you now. And I'm like, people, why would you hide material from me? That doesn't even make sense. They said we shall return when the growth has occurred for the secondary phase of this tutelage program. So people, we'll be back with the secondary phase of the tutelage program.
Is that because we're not ready for the hidden material or whatever, huh?
Now, but yeah, I mean, boy, Brian, this one blew my mind. A bird can become a bee, but it makes sense if you go back to the cellular level of something. And it's again, it's going back to this furnace of creation where you can really create anything. And we get this message a lot. Like when you're trying to manifest something, when you're manifesting something, go big, go bold, because you can literally create anything you want in your life. Everything and anything is possible.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I think we're both reading this Diana Cooper book about the golden future, and she talks in the fifth dimension. There's all this, you don't need material things, and like if you need something, you just manifest. So you think, oh, I'd like to, eat an apple, and then just an apple appears in your palm. So that's that's where we're headed, folks. I know it's hard to imagine, but I mean, think about manifestation. That's the pure essence of it, where you think of something and it occurs automatically. You automatically manifest it. But it's hard to imagine, but that it's totally true, and it's something that uh, we're headed in that direction. But did you have any other thoughts, Dad?
Yeah, and actually the closing that I pulled for this brother is it talks about exactly that. So when you are in the flow, and that's how you know when you're in the flow. When you know you're in the flow, when everything comes to you and things come. So for example, I'll give you an example. Like was just recently in a city in Ohio where I lived long ago. And I was thinking about this old friend. I was like, gosh, I wonder what she's doing. I would love to see her. I actually Googled her. I'm like, I'm sure she still lives in this town. And wouldn't you know it? I'm leaving the airport and who do I see? This old friend. You know what I mean? It's just like, I was just thinking about her. I haven't thought about her in probably 20 years, and there she is right in front of me. So, yeah, and that's a sign when you know you're in the flow and everything's working right.
Yeah, that's a great story.
Yeah. So, do you want to go on with the next one, which is the first concept of the one?
Yeah, so that's from January 16th of 2024. It says, Dearest one, we come forth to you with regard to new information we wish to part with. We love that you are indeed open to exploring new concepts. We return to the first concept of the one who is indivisible, the one who is yet is divisible as is represented in every living being, the trees, the stones, the river that babbles and speaks, the sun, the moon, the stars. So in one way, everything is alive. In another, only the one can live. To be truly alive is a unique proposition. It requires thoughtfulness to be present in the actual moments, to notice the life that courses through the central pole, unifying the chakras. In this way, all life is connected. The life that flows through you is the same life that flows through me. So let me pause there. So this is really interesting. I thought the way they put this and how, you know, I love just like all these other messages to be really present and, really requiring the thoughtfulness to be in the actual moment. So what resonates with you on that part?
I just love, and it reminds me of when we first started channeling and we got all these messages with regards to the prime numbers, that the prime numbers represent the creator because prime numbers are indivisible. So again, we have the same message that the one is indivisible, but yet it appears divisible because it's represented. You have a divine spark, I have a divine spark. The stone in your garden has a divine spark, the flower in your garden has a divine spark. So I just love that, I love that duality, that everything's alive and everything's connected through the one. So yeah, that's what really resonates with you. So I'll go on. They talk about the trick, as it were, to, utilizing this concept of, you know, there is only the one. They say how to utilize this tremendous opportunity is unique to each being. The trick, as it were, is to allow the clear stream to flow directly through you. Wanting changes the course of the energetic flow. Any emotion can alter the direction. In this way, each human is its own unique masterpiece, creating a unique pattern that is not represented in the other. The trauma of your fifth grade teacher creates a well within that resembles a dark spot. Your brother may have a similar trauma but from a separate action. These traumas near each other, and yet they are represented in the body in different ways. The trick, as you now know, is to release these dramas and allow the energetic flow to continue unabated. With this, we can assist in clearing what was long ago stuck. The movement of energy requires thought. Without thought, the stasis period of creation ends and a life form ceases to exist. You may say, what about the comatose patient? We say, you may not recognize the thought processes within, but the divine creator does. Isn't that fascinating, brother? Isn't that fascinating?
Yeah, it's amazing message. I mean, this aligns with everything else what we were saying just earlier with the Michael Singer book and releasing your samskaras and just a great message. So, what's your biggest takeaway from this, Maureen?
Again, just that all life is connected. I think I told you my most significant mystical event happened in the Sahara Desert in 2014. And I was told that my life purpose is to understand, to teach, to live, that there is only the one. And, this is a perfect representation of that. There is only the one. So, and just allowing the energy to flow freely through you, which again, I'm just going to say this is a practice, to be fully present, which you mentioned earlier, and to be aware. And I also think to be in gratitude, and appreciative of wherever you are in that moment. What's the biggest takeaway you get from all of these messages, brother?
Yeah, there's so many good ones, but I mean, it's really just powerful that, anything is possible and it's so important just sort of having the right mindset to be aware of that. And I just think that's just such a hopeful message for us all to take in and to reflect. So I appreciate great session. I appreciate you putting this one together. Some great messages, and I'm glad we could share them with all of you.
Yeah, so I'll close this off from January 22nd, 2024. This is from Aura, who we first communicated with. And this is what you were talking about, brother, is just being in the flow. And they said to seek balance within yourself attracts and draws like-minded experiences, people, and opportunities. It's like setting the table for an important guest. Everything must be in alignment. And then, like we said before, when you're in alignment, Drumvalo says when you're in alignment, the number 111 is a signal that yeah, you are absolutely in the flow. And then everything can come to you and you can create, the beautiful life that you really are destined to live, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. So it's funny you mention that because I do see that all the time. I'll look at the clock and it's like 11:11 or things like that. So that's always a great message to see something like that and get that confirmation that you're on the right track.
Yeah. Yeah. We appreciate all those signs from our guides and star beings and all the heavenly beings who assist us. So thank you everybody for listening, and we'll talk to you all next week.
Bye, everyone.